Oh, that's an interesting one. Okay, yeah. Did following a certification path change the game for me? If so, how? Very short answer. I've never really followed a certification path. Yes, I have a lot of certifications. I seem to pick them up as I go along, but I've never deliberately, apart from my Scrum Trainer certificate, sat down and planned a multi-year plan to achieve a certificate. Why? Because I don't value them. I value the learning that comes with them. CST was a bit different. It was part of my transition at work. It was a deliberate thinking about how do I move to a space where I can support my clients better, and it required a certificate that takes years to achieve. And if you don't plan that, you're not going to get there. But in the main, I've not gone down a certification path. I've not sat there. When I did my CSM 12, 14 years ago, whatever it was, I didn't think, how do I become a CST? I did my CSM. And I did it because of the learning there. And when I got there and I achieved it, I didn't then think, oh, how do I become a CSP? Which was, at the time, the next step. I went and I practiced my skills. And I got better. And at some point, the CSP became on my radar. I think it was a couple of years later. And I thought, I'm probably good enough for that. And then I applied. And I got it. That's great. And then it wasn't for another 6 years or something before I got the next one. And that's not because it takes that long. I had the experience. I probably had the experience within a couple of years to do it. It's because it wasn't important to me. What did the certification prove to me or the people that I worked with? Nothing. For me, that is a healthy relationship with certifications. You will see people on LinkedIn who have 50 certifications and they're very proud of their ability to attend a class. Fair enough. That's on them. They can do that. None of my business. I think instead what you want to do is use certifications to validate where you are on your journey. How do they progress you? Very often they don't. I did my CSM because, as a contractor, I needed a piece of paper to demonstrate what I already knew. So I went and did a 2-day class. Did I learn stuff? Yes. Yes, I did. I also had some amazing relationships and transformational conversations come off the back of it. But that wasn't the piece of paper, that was the people I met and the access to their networks and their knowledge that changed that. And that's what I want to keep doing. And throughout my career, and I've got a fair while to go yet, I hope, that's, I hope, what I stay there doing. I don't think I want to go and do a degree, for instance, because I want to say I've got a degree. I would want to go and do a degree, and I'm considering it today, because I want to work with the people teaching that degree. I want to learn what they've got to offer, both for pre-existing knowledge, but also what they're coming up with now. I want to take things forwards. I want to always grow and develop myself. At some point, I may pick up another piece of paper. That'd be nice. That will validate to me and to others that I've achieved a certain level in that topic. And it might be useful in future employment. It might be useful if I decide to go and get investors in a business. It might be useful to just shush somebody at a conference, which I have used before. That's okay. But it's not the point. It's a useful byproduct. So if you're there wondering what your certification path is going to be, that might be a good question for you. But as a challenge for you, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to do? Maybe there's some certifications that make sense along the course, but don't focus on them. Think about what's good for you next, and next might be a month or two, it might be a year or two, and how would you achieve that? Now, I mentioned the CST earlier and I focused on that, and that seems to be counter to the advice that I've just said. It's a long process, and sometimes you have to have that commitment. You have to decide you want something for a reason further down the line. Did it transform my career? No. The CST, the Certified Scrum Trainer from Scrum Alliance, is a validation that you've achieved a level. It lets you teach the Certified Scrum Master, Certified Product Owner, if you've got everything in place, great. But before you go through that approach, it's an apprenticeship in being a trainer of Scrum. So by the time you turn up to do your interview, you already are one. And for me, it was absolutely a transformational program of getting ready for the certification. The day proved to people who'd already walked that path, people that I respect and admire, that I'd achieved a quality that they were happy to say was good enough. But the important bit was not that day. It was the months beforehand where I was working with other people, I was crafting material, I was delivering material, learning what questions were going to be asked, learning how to answer them in 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever I had available. How do you distill things down as an educator? That last day was hard work, and it was nice, cherry on the cake, that other people that, again, I respect and admire said, you're good enough. For me, that's what I'm looking for from any certification I follow, is that people I respect and admire, when I decide to go for it, say, you're already here. You're good enough to say this. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.